Hi friends, welcome to English Today channel. In today's class, we are going to learn about foreign words commonly used in English language. Are you ready to know about these words? Yes. Totally, we are going to learn 12 words today. Okay, let's start. The first word what we are going to learn today is adoc. Adoc. It is a Latin word. The meaning of this word is for this particular purpose. For particular purpose, that is the meaning of the word adoc. Okay? Or when necessary or needed. When necessary or needed. This is the meaning of the word adoc. Okay? For this particular purpose or when necessary or needed. This is the meaning of the word adopt. There are two meanings. Okay, let's find out better with an example. Now see, the mayor appointed an ad hoc committee to study the project. So, he appointed a committee, ad hoc committee. That means it is very, very important, necessary. For what? For what purpose he has appointed the committee? To study the project. He wants a complete report. Whether the project is feasible, whether it can be worked out, what is the cost, everything he wants to know. So that's the reason why he has appointed a committee. So the example is the mayor appointed an ad hoc committee. That is for the purpose of studying the project. Okay, this is very necessary. Ad hoc committee. It is needed at that particular time. Ad hoc committee. Okay, now you can go for another example. The lecturer is appointed on ad hoc basis. That means it is important. There is no substitution. No one has come. Maybe the previous lecturer must have gone on leave. So the work is pending. So on ad hoc basis, they appointed lecturers. Okay, it is an ad hoc meeting conducted. That means it's an important, urgent meeting. So in that, it is very necessary. In that purpose, in that context rather, we use the word ad hoc. So ad hoc, the meaning of the word is for particular purpose or when necessary or when it is needed. The example I told you is the mayor appointed an ad hoc committee to study the project, and this is a Latin word. This is a Latin word. Often we use that in our English language. Clear? Now let's go to the second word. Bonafide. This is often used word. Most of you must have known the meaning of bonafide. Usually they'll ask you to get a bonafide certificate from the school or from the college. So bonafide, what is the meaning of bonafide? Bonafide means genuine, real. This is the meaning of bonafide. So the example is the librarian asked for a bonafide certificate of the student for membership. In order to become a member of the library, the librarian is asking for a bonafide certificate, a genuine certificate for his identity, whether he really a student or not. How to, know about that fact, whether he's a student or not. So in order to know about the fact, he wants a bonafide certificate from the student, and so that he can give him a membership in the library. Got it? So bonafide means genuine or real. This is the meaning of the word bonafide. This is also a Latin word usually used in the language of English. So the librarian asked for a bonafide certificate of the student for membership. Okay. Now let's go to the third word. De facto. De facto. That means actually, in reality. Okay. In reality, this is what? Correct. You are able to understand. So, in reality, this is the situation. In reality, this is the fact. So, that is where we use de facto. Example, you see, then you will understand better. Common language used throughout the world is de facto English. So, we all know that English is an international language where people use more. Okay. So, he says, in fact, this is the common language used throughout the world. So, de facto means in fact, in reality. English is the common language used throughout the world. That's the meaning. Got it? Okay, now let's go to the fourth one. Exparty. Exparty. Exparty means that is one-sided. All these four words what you learned now are from Latin language. Okay. Now exparty is also a Latin word that means one-sided. One-sided. Usually you would have come across this word in judgment or court. Suppose there are two individuals applying for divorce. Okay, both husband and wife. They have filed a case in the court of law. Okay. Now, husband is appearing before the court 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, etc. As the judge says whenever they get the call from the court. Okay. But the wife is not turning up. Maybe she would have missed 3 hearings or 4 hearings. Then, we can always appeal for exparty divorce. What is exparty? One-sided. Because the other party is not coming for the discussion or for the case, so the judge can take a decision to grant him divorce because the other party is not turning to the court. Okay, in that case, one-sided. I think that example what I give you is sufficient and it's clear. So now the example what we have written here is Raju requested for exparty judgment as his opponent did not appear before the court of law. So he has filed a case, who? Mr. Raju. But his opponent, okay, on whom he filed a case did not turn up for more than 3 times or more than 4 times. In that case, the judge can always give a judgment, ex parte judgment, giving in favor of the first party, that is Raju. In that case, we use the word ex parte. Usually that means one-sided. So don't give ex parte judgment hearing to one side discussion or argument, you can say. So always ex parte means one-sided. That you should know. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Modus operandi. Modus operandi is also a Latin word. Modus operandi means way of doing or operating. How you do things. That is your style. Your way of working the things. That is called modus operandi. This is what I do. If you give me a work, this is what, see, first I do this, second I do this, third I do systematically. This is my way of operating things to finish the work rather. That is the meaning of modus operandi. Way of doing or operating. Now the example is, the bank robber's modus operandi is to demand money at gunpoint. So you must have seen in movies or you must have heard in different news and dramas, newspapers. This news is very, very common. The robbers go to the bank, okay, demanding money. How do they go? How do they go to the bank for demanding money? With a gun. So they demand, that is their modus operandi. So that is how they actually try to get the money or rob the money from the bank. That is modus operandi. Their modus of operandi. With a gun they go to the bank. That is the way they operate their need. Okay, modus operandi, way of doing or operating. So the bank robbers modus operandi is to demand money. With what they demand money? Showing the gun at gunpoint. So that is the meaning of modus operandi. The next word is par excellence. Par excellence is a French word. The first 5 words are from Latin language. This word par excellence is a French word or a phrase. Okay, what is the meaning of par excellence? Eminent. Okay, or he is better than others. When somebody is doing good in some field, you say he is par excellence. That means he is excellent. He is very good. Okay, able to understand. Now see, he is a meticulous manager. Meticulous means even small details, minute details also he will take care and do the work professionally, neatly, okay, excellently. So then we say he is a meticulous manager, a manager par excellence. He is a manager par excellence, a manager better than others. He is an eminent manager par excellence. We use the word in that context. So what are the 6 words or phrases we've learned from other languages? Are ad hoc, bonafide, de facto, ex parte, modus operandi, par excellence. Okay, clear? Okay, the next word what we are going to learn is per capita. What is the meaning of per capita? Usually we find this word appearing in economics. Okay, suppose you want to know what is per capita. The meaning is per head, for each person. That's the meaning, per head. Now, where we use in economics is how this per capita income of India is so much, maybe per person, what is the income per year we say, okay, per head. Okay, so how will you calculate that per capita income or per head income is total income you will take divided by total population. This is how you calculate per capita, which means per head income. So this word usually is used in economics. Got it? Okay. We'll go to the next word. That is the eighth one. Prima facie. Prima facie. What is the meaning of prima facie? That means at first sight, at first glance. First information rather. You can even think first information. So, the prima facie to know about any educational institution is its strength. So, based on the number of students studying in an institution, you will judge whether it's a popular institution, whether it's a hi-fi institution or it is a very average institution. Everything you decide based on its strength. So, that is the first sight, okay, of the judgment of the institution. That's what we say prima facie. Okay. Okay. All these words we will use frequently in English language. All these words are Latin words. Okay. Now status quo. Status quo. What is status quo? That means existing condition, the present condition. Okay. Status quo. This is what we say. That means the present condition. So for example, he is happy with the status quo. He doesn't want change. So he is happy with his present status. He doesn't want any change. You're going for a better one. You're offering maybe a 3-story building and all. He is not at all interested because he is very happy with status quo. Okay, that is the present situation. Okay, the 10th one which you come across is via media. What is the via media? In between. Okay. Now there is one situation which is extreme level. There is another situation where it's little maybe inferior. So if you cannot manage, so you go via media. Okay, to understand better, for example, you go to a shop. Okay, you go to a shop and the shopkeeper says the cost of a table is 15,000. Okay, you are bargaining for 10,000. So he says, no, definitely you cannot get it for 10,000, he says. Then you say, okay, we'll go via media, make it 12,000. That means it is neither 15,000 nor 10,000. Via media, in between rate you have fixed. Via media, in between. So we'll see what examples we have given. Middle course, that's the meaning. His aim is, however, to find via media between old and new. So there is some sort of condition for the old, some for the younger ones, okay, or some for the old and some for the new. For example, there is a new policy of education, there is an old policy for education, which is not actually feasible. Old and new people, some people like old ones, some people like new ones. So, okay, we will not take old one or a new policy. Let's go via media, in between. It should be favorable to both. Okay, the people who are supporting the old policy, the people who are supporting the new policy, it should satisfy both of them. So we will go via media, in between. Got it? So in between, the decision you are taking. So for example, you can go for any number of examples for the word via media. Via media means in between. Okay, neither high nor low. In between you are going and supporting the people. That's how people or things or whatever it is. You are going via media. That's the meaning of via media. Middle course, you are choosing the middle course. Okay. Now, viva voce. Viva voce is a very common word which you come across often. This word is used especially during examinations. You have both written examination and oral examination, and this viva voce is called as a oral examination. After you finishing your written examination, you will have viva. Even in short form we call it as a viva. So there will be an examiner, okay, external examiner will be asked to inspect the practicals. After finishing your practical work, you will be seated before the examiner and he will be questioning one or two from the practical what you have done, and you have to answer in your voice personal, okay, meeting, and you have to answer the questions in your voice, not written form, voice. So that is called viva voce, oral rather than written. So orally you have to answer the questions asked by the examiner, external examiner during the examination, and that we call it as viva voce. Okay, example, candidates may be called for viva voce. We call it as a viva voce. Okay, now the last word what we are going to learn is vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa also very common word which you must have been using it in your language. Okay, what is the meaning of vice versa? Even the other way also it should be correct. For example, both sides. Suppose I make a statement, this is the subject, that's the object. From the object side also it is correct, from the subject side also it should be correct. Okay, in order to understand better, now see, conversely means reverse also is correct. Example, if I tell you, you will understand better. The boys tease girls. Usually the boys tease girls. But you also know that the girls also tease boys. Am I right or wrong? Yes. So, the boys tease girls, it's one statement. The other statement, reverse you put it. Reverse statement is the girls tease boys. Both are correct. Vice versa. It's happening like that. Okay. So, this usage of vice versa is, if this is done and that is also correct. If this is correct, that is also correct. You are able to understand? So, wives bring the husbands to the party. The husbands bring wives to the party. Both are correct. You are able to understand? Now, this is what? Boys tease girls. Girls also tease boys. So, it's vice versa. Both sides, it is correct. In that sense also, you use vice versa. So, totally we have learnt 12 words today. Okay, these are the foreign words used in English language. It will be very useful, and you have to know these words, the basic words. Often we use these words in a language. In order to understand the words properly, you should learn these words. Hope you understood it. Suppose you understood and you like this video, please click like, subscribe and share my video. Okay, bye.